We are live. All right. H-Man in the building. Big H. All right, let me get a few. Let me wait for a few more people to show up. I haven't done a live stream on YouTube for a minute. So let me just put a few links up in a few spots and then we'll get going. All right. Mark announcement. Cool, cool. I think we're almost there. All right. So, welcome to a live stream. Impromptu, but I want to say what's up to the subscribers. Yeah, you guys. So if you're here, you can go ahead and ask some questions in the chat. I'll do my best to answer the questions. And beyond that, I'll talk some Amazon FBA. All right. H-Man, nice seeing you, bro. Nice seeing you, my man. Have a good meeting. So I wanted to come on here live real quick, say what's up to everybody, and we'll talk a little Amazon. So it's been maybe a month since I came on here and kind of gave everybody an update. I know it's a little later in the day, so I'm not expecting as many people to show up. But for those of you who are here, I'm excited that you're here. And go ahead and ask any Amazon related questions in the chat, and I will get to them. All right, let me look here real quick at a couple things. So what I'm going to do here first is show you guys where my sales are at for the day. And what I like to do is show you guys where the sales are at, and then show you at the end of the live stream where the sales are at. Okay, so let me put this on privacy mode. Here we go. Okay, so this is today. This is as we speak right now. So it is 6:30 in California, and we are at $16,391 profit. That's today. Okay. If I go back here to, let's see here, sales. Let's do the last 30 days, right? We go here last 30 days. Let's wait for it to update. 493,000 in profit in the last 30 days. Okay, so here pretty soon I'll probably make a video once I do 500,000 profit in 30 days, because that's kind of like a big deal. That'll be probably my biggest 30 days. This past 30 days has been bigger than any of my Q4s. All right, so this whole COVID and people thinking that like Amazon and things like that are dropping, not at all. It's quite the opposite. In fact, I'm seeing like all the money that people were spending like in stores is going online and going to sellers like myself who are all set up. Okay. Let's see. So you guys go ahead and fire some questions in the chat, and I'll see what I can do. Other than that, you're just going to hear me go on about Amazon. So a couple things that have been exciting in my business that are a little bit new is I do have one brand that's really been like, it's really been blowing up in regards to even people on social media finding my products and doing posts on them. I had one video that somebody did of one of my products on TikTok. It had over 1.5 million views, and that spiked my sales. The same brand, I had another product, an influencer on Instagram did a story. She has 750,000 followers, and so that got some big traction too. So on that brand, what I'm planning to do is have a huge social media push. I've tried social media in the past with a couple other brands, and it didn't it didn't make very much sense, and I didn't see much from that. But I've been getting actual messages on different platforms and people saying, "Hey, are these authentic XYZ brand?" So that's how I know that brand is really starting to get some momentum, because people are actually messaging me and saying, hey, how do we know these are authentic XYZ brand? So that's pretty exciting. That's one of the new things I'm doing in my business. All right, I saw some here. The total revenue drops from 480,000 to 220 in just one day. Does it make sense? I'm not sure what that one means, but let me see if you guys have any questions. But let me see what's up here. Rogue Seller, what's up? Fleece Johnson, Joey C in the building, H Man, Ahmed, Go Boom, Fins Fan. I like that picture, Fins Fan. That's like Carl Black. Hi Tim, you got a haircut? I did. I got a haircut. It's about time. I was looking pretty shaggy there. Crypto Channel, what's up? Johnny Capital, Capital Sire. Eileen, nice haircut, Kuya. Thank you. Ankit, Matthew. Our Rogue Seller asks, does the course cover appropriate way to create listing, including UPCs, etc.? Absolutely, absolutely. I'm not just going to show you how to create a listing on Amazon. I'm going to show you how to create the best listing in all of Amazon, because that's how I roll. I don't bring anything to the market that's not the best. In fact, my students and our students in the Private Label Masters program, their listings are so clean because the freelancers that I recommend, that you would be a fool to go to a competitor's listing and want to buy it. Like once you click on one of theirs and you see their images and you see their copy, it's game over. They're getting the sale. Okay. That's the kind of listings that we help you create. So it's not just about creating an appropriate listing, including UPCs. It's creating the best listing in the entire niche. And it's just like when you go into a store, if you were just to go down like the toothpaste aisle at the grocery store, you would see which ones are the ones with like the nice packaging. And you know what? A lot of times those ones can sell for a higher price. Okay, that's what I teach the students in the course. Do I do merch by Amazon? No, merch by Amazon, for those who don't know, it's like making custom t-shirts and stuff like that. That's like kind of like the whole drop shipping thing, but Amazon's kind of helping you out with it. And I feel like that's like small potatoes compared to what private label you can do. Private label, you can do like amazing, crazy scalable business. Whereas merch by Amazon, it's like, it's okay. I just haven't seen the type of success that I've seen with people doing Amazon private label. Ray Thompson, hi coach, you rock. Ray Thompson, you rock, man. I've seen what you're doing in your business. Another student success right here. How much revenue were you generating before you stopped being a one-man show? This is a good question. So you're gonna think I'm crazy, and I was crazy. So if you listen to a lot of different successful business people, their journeys are kind of interesting. For example, one of the guys I follow is Sam Ovens. If you don't know his channel, I recommend to go check it out. And when Sam Ovens' business blew up, um, he said he almost died because he was doing everything himself. And then he went the opposite side and he hired 50 people. And then now he got rid of everyone. He's got like 9 people now. So you can avoid a lot of mistakes by asking questions like this, right? For people who've been there like myself. So I got up to almost $5 million a year before I even started hiring like a customer service person. Like I was doing so much. Like for anybody out there who even does 1 million in sales, like they're doing 5 million all on your own. It's a quick way to a quick death. Okay. So once you can afford like a couple dollars an hour for like a really good virtual assistant to do like customer support, that's where it's at. But I hired my first main guy, Aaron, when I was right around 5 million. And then he helped me get to right around 8 million. And then I hired my second, like, mini me named Aurora. And then, she helped me get to around 14 million. And then beyond them, I only have one other person who does some social media and also answers questions. So it's literally just 4 of us on this like $15 million a year Amazon account. No office space, no warehouses, no forklifts, no tons of employees. And that's very rare to find. Like you're gonna find other guys who have like, it's rare, but you will find other guys out there who have large Amazon businesses, but they're not rolling with just 4 people. No way. They got huge payrolls. They got tons of people all over. But I hope that answers your question. So Carl says, great. I'm doing product research on a fitness mask for gym application, but their FOB prices are high. Would you consider this product given the COVID issue? I don't think so because it's kind of like an inflated market right now. Like it's really hard for you to like discern like what's what. Because a lot of people probably buying that type of product on Amazon are not using it straight for the gym. They're just using it to be like trendy and have a cool mask, as they're out and about. Um, the only time, and also no one's going to the gym. Like I guess if you're going to work out at home and you're doing this kind of thing, it might work. But what I would do is I would look at last year around this time at products like that and then kind of see what it was doing. But I would wait for this to kind of clear up a little bit because a lot of those buyers that what you're going to be seeing by the BSR numbers on Keeper or wherever you're tracking it or in Jungle Scout or Viral Launch aren't going to be realistic because people aren't using it specifically for that application. And for that application, a lot of gyms are closed. So a lot of less people are going to be buying it for that actual reason. Let's see here. Justin says, let's go. This course is unreal. Thanks, man. Thanks for the shout. Ice Baby, what's up, Vanilla? So I've been making a lot of money with stocks. I want to get an FBA. How much is a good amount to get into? Not the minimum, but solid amount. Okay, so the more the merrier, my friend Vanilla. If you got 10 grand, that's better than 4 grand. And if you got 4 grand, that's better than 2 grand. I would, I would love to start with 5 to 7 or something like that. But you can get started earlier. And what I always tell people, especially people who try to get into the training, and for all those who are watching right now, my training is not, you can't just go to some sales page and buy it. No, you have to go through an interview process because we want to make sure you're a good fit and that we want to work with you because we have such a dynamic community that we are building right now. There are hundreds of people who are all in it and who are open and supportive of one another. You'll see one person in our student group post like a little bit of success and you'll see 170 comments on there, right? That's the kind of group. And not one post goes by without 3 to 5 coaches / moderators vetting to make sure that the information is credible. You're not going to see that anywhere else on Facebook. No way, no way. All right. So if you don't have, let's say, 5 grand or something like that, no problem. I like the saying, earn while you learn. Like when you get to college, when you go to school, right? When you're going to college, let's say you're going to go be a doctor, right? Or let's say anything, like anything that's going to need you to start practicing in the future. Usually how it works, right, is you learn, you get equipped with the knowledge so that when you enter into the line of work, you can hit the ground running, right? You don't have to like learn on the go. You can learn in advance. And that's like preparation, right? And what do they say about luck? It's when preparation meets opportunity. So that's why I say, even if you don't have like 5 or 6 grand, you can still get started, especially with the learning aspect. Okay. So I highly recommend getting a training and learning and really allowing your mind to like submerge in that information and to just be absorbed in a really good Facebook community. All right. And as you do that, your confidence is going to go up. And during that process, while you learn, you're going to start building some more capital so that when you enter into the actual task itself of being an Amazon seller, you're going to hit the ground running because you've been consumed with good information and in a community watching people problem solve their issues. Now, a lot of people I see, which is really crazy to me, this is really crazy. Imagine you have this guy, let's say where is the nearest like library, okay? Think of the library next to you. And let's say you want to learn a skill. Let's say you want to learn investing. All right, stock market investing. And there's a guy at that library who will charge you, I don't know, a couple $100 and he'll teach you. And not only will he teach you, he's an expert at this. And he's not just a theoretical expert. He has proof. He can show you his accounts and his stock accounts and his portfolios that he's destroying it. But you know what you say to yourself? You know what? Before I want to invest in that guy, I want to go make sure I can have some success myself. I'm going to go try to, put some money in the stock market. And once I make a little bit of money for myself, then I'm going to go talk to that expert and learn from him. You see how that mindset is flawed? Now, a lot of people may say like, well, Tim, you're just saying that because you have a training. Well, here's the thing. Everything I've done, including Amazon, I didn't just go off of YouTube videos. It's like YouTube videos like taught me that the thing existed, and then I went and found someone who was good at it. And I modeled my business after them, and then I surpassed them, and I found the next person who's higher and higher and higher and higher. Whether it has to do with YouTube, I didn't just like go on YouTube and be like, how do I make a YouTube channel? No, I found these guys who would have a YouTube course on how to, put SEO in your videos, how to do good video editing, how to make a good thumbnail, all this stuff. And what that does is it fast tracks you, it skips the line, and you pass so many people. But so many people have this idea of like, you know what, before I invest in actual really good education, I'm going to see if I can hack it on my own, which is a 99% failure rate. Okay. And then people come knocking on the door and be like, hey, you know what? I have finally humbled my ego and I'm ready to learn because I thought I could do it on my own. Right. So, anyways, let's keep going. But that's how much I recommend it. Even if you don't have that much, earn while you learn. Okay. Earn while you learn. Let's see here. Rizop. Hey, man, huge fan. What's up, Rizop? Thanks, man. Thanks for the support. I'm trying to transfer over from DDP shipping with my supplier to something like freight or Amazon Global Shipping Service. Is the price difference worth all the extra work? So the only way you're going to find out that is just by testing, right? So if you're trying to do Amazon Global Shipping Services, you got to get a quote, and you get the quote, and then you can do the apples to apples thing, right? Now, in addition to that, you're also going to weigh the fact of like ease of use, right? So if you're using Amazon Global Shipping Service is like this total pain in the neck, and you feel like, man, this is tough, and but I save like 5%, you might just stick with what you have going, all right? And plus, sometimes working with your supplier shipping agent, they'll make a little bit of money on that, and they might like that too. So just consider that. But the ultimate way you're going to have to do is get a quote, right? Or do a small shipment using Amazon Global Shipping Services or whatever freight forwarder. And then you can really start to tell, like, how was the service? How was the price? How was the communication? And then you can make decisions for the long term for your business. Did I reach out to this influencer? Or are you talking about the TikTok and the Instagram one? No, I didn't. Actually, one of my assistant's girlfriends, she's on social media quite a bit. And she's like, hey, isn't this one of the brands for that guy you work with? And so that's how I found both of them. For all I know, it's been posted a whole bunch more times than just those two, but those are just the two that I'm aware of. But on this next huge reorder, I'm gonna go like full on and contact every trendy Instagrammer out there. And Finn's fan, if you're a trendy Instagram, I might message you and say like, hey, you want to promote this? Fleece Johnson, choosing a product, biggest ROI or biggest sales volume, which one do you go by? Well, I think the real answer is somewhere in the middle. Somewhere in the middle. Because if you have high ROI, but you make no sales, you make no money. And if you have high sales volume, but there's no ROI there, you make no money. And it's just a cash flow crunch. Okay. So find something in the middle. Good sales volume that you have enough money to keep in stock that has a healthy ROI so you make some money and go after that. Rogue Seller says, does the course cover the way to set up your business type? Yeah, so in the training, I do go over briefly how to set up an LLC, which places I recommend for that. But I will tell you, Rogue Seller, an LLC is not required, okay? It's not required. So don't feel like I have to have like an S Corp or a C Corp or an LLC to get started. It's not required. It's something that you should have thinking down the line, especially if you're doing higher liability products. But yes, I do go into that. Johnny Capital Sire, do you feel insurance is a necessity for FBA, assuming you already have an LLC? You know, it goes back and forth on like what type of products that you're selling, right? If you're selling stuff that seems higher liability, you might look into the insurance thing, right? And you know, an LLC, so like an LLC will protect your personal assets, but nothing inside the LLC. But if all your money is already going to be in the LLC from your whole thing, then they're still can go after that. So just keep that in mind. Real PC Geeks. Hey Tim, I found a great supplier for my product. Their products are great quality. However, they don't have capabilities for custom packaging. Should I find a new supplier or ship packaging to them? So I would ask them like, hey, do you have any like contacts that can do the custom packaging? Because in China, this is basic stuff. Like every single factory knows of other factories that do custom packaging. Now, the only time you might run into this issue is like if you order a lower quantity. If you're ordering a lower quantity, they're probably not going to want to do custom packaging because they have to set up a lot of different stuff for that. Whereas if they can pump out a ton of units and a ton of packaging, then they'll be okay with it. But tell them if they have, ask them if they have a contact. And if they don't, yeah, there's no problem with like finding another person and then having them do the packaging and then bring it to the other supplier. When doing bundles and add-ons, do you use one supplier or more to make your package? So typically I'll have one supplier like package everything, but a lot of times that supplier who I work with will reach out to other suppliers to get the other accessory bundles and then they'll organize it all together. And if I, other times if they don't have the context for these other accessory items, I'll reach out to the other factory right on Alibaba or something, and then I'll connect the two, right? Like if main product guy can't find the accessory, I'll say like, you know what? I'm gonna do you a favor, my friend. I'm gonna find the accessory for you. And then I'll go out, find the accessory, do the samples, get the testing, everything, agree on a price, and then I'll go back to the main guy. Hey, my friend, guess what? I'm back. And I have a referral for you. And this is the price, and I would like to go through you. I'll order through you, you pay them, you get it all worked out, and they'll do that too. John Trong, hi Tim, should I start Amazon FBA now? I'm afraid of COVID-19. Mr. John Trong, I'm going to tell you this right now, okay? Listen closely. The best time to plant a tree, 10 years ago. The second best time to plant a tree, today, okay? Today, right? Ask yourself, how long have I been saying, how long have you known about Amazon FBA, John? And for anybody else who's been just sitting there on the fence, how long have you known about Amazon FBA, right? I'm not a fan of fence sitting. As a wise person once told me, fence sitting is out, right? So now's a great time. Now's the best time. I'm a straight shooter, okay? If now is a terrible time, I would not be making a videos about this, right? I would not say get in, right? I saw this chart. I don't even know where it is. Let me see here. I saw this chart and I don't have it right now, but it's like it shows like online retail sales like this, and then within the last like 4 months, it's just shooting up. It's shooting up. Like think about this right now, John. Where was everybody buying all their goods? Those who were afraid to go to the store. Amazon. Just a year ago, Amazon Prime members in the US was 100 million. It's approaching almost 200 million. 200 million. And where are they going to start buying from? They're going to buy from you and I, all right? So Amazon FBA isn't like the stock market where you're like, I'm trying to make some money tomorrow. I'm going to invest some money here at, TD Ameritrade. I'm going to make a few trades and maybe I'll make money in a week and I'll be rich. No, see a lot of people who go into stuff like crypto, stocks, all these kind of things, they're short-term thinkers, right? They're like, I want to make money in a week, right? Amazon FBA, like private label business model, that's for long-term business-minded thinkers who are trying to build a castle that'll be here forever, making tens of thousands of dollars on every single listing, right? It's like this giant wheel you're pushing, right? And it gets going. It's real slow. It's real slow. As compared to like retail and arbitrage, you're like, I want to make some money. I'm going to go down to Target. I'm going to get my scanner app. I'm going to scan this. Ooh, I'm going to make some money. I'm going to send it in and make a few dollars, right? Again, that's that like quick wins, quick cash grabs, but not like long-term business-minded person, all right? Private label is like for the long-term business-minded person, a person who's looking at this not as a hobby, but as a career, as looking at somebody who's like not trying to make a couple bucks on the side as a side hustle, but somebody who's trying to make more money doing something than any other opportunity out there. Like that's for the private label business person, all right? So being afraid is good. Being afraid is good, right? So I want you to flip this on yourself real quick. The people who are afraid, you know what? They're the most discerning, right? They don't want to make mistakes. So they're very like careful. They're cautious in who they trust. They're cautious before they put their order in, right? But what you want is like there's the spectrum of I'm not afraid of anything and I just go in. Person makes a lot of mistakes, right? They're like the super extrovert who never thinks before speaking. And then you have the other side, right? Which is like the super introvert who thinks so much they never say anything, right? They're too afraid, right? And maybe that's where you're at right now. Like I'm so afraid of what could happen, what could happen, what could happen. You never get started. The perfect Amazon seller is in the middle, right? They're balanced. They're afraid, so they don't. So they dot their I's, they cross their T's, they pay close attention, they're cautious, right? But they're also not so afraid they don't take action. All right. So find out where you're on this scale right here, right? Are you way over here? I don't think you are. You're more on the nervous side, right? And find ways to build your confidence to get in the game because you just got to get started. Not one person can plot the path. Like do you know when they shoot a rocket off to the moon, they can literally time exactly like within a split second of when it will land because of the different laws and physics and things like that. But you know what? They don't know the exact perfect course every single time. That full trip to the moon is filled with tens of thousands of mini course corrections. So small, change, right? Slight. And that's what it is like being an Amazon seller. But you got to launch the rocket, John. You got to launch the rocket. And then people like myself and other people who know what to do and have landed a million rockets on the moon, we're going to help guide you. Like, oh, turn here, John, turn here. John, don't do that. John, what are you doing, man? Get back here, all right? All right, I like this. He's saying camping instead of campaign, but it's all good. I understand you, Joe Serrano. Hi, Tim. I have a question regarding a campaign. When you select a keyword for a campaign and give away products, can you impact other keywords too? Yeah, so whenever you get sales, like the most ranking juice, they like to call it, will be for the keyword that they searched for, okay? But your listing will get a boost in many keywords from sales, all right? So in your title, it's going to have keywords. Usually the ones closest to the front are the ones who are going to have the most impact, and your bullets are going to have keywords in your back end and your description too. And let's say you have a camping tent, right? And someone types in heavy duty camping tent and they buy your item. Well, you're going to get the most rank help for heavy duty camping tent, but you're also going to get a little bit of a boost for just camping tent and for any other random keywords that your product is also optimized for. Hope that helps. All right, what's up, Matthew? Man, I like that hair. My wife and I are getting started on our Amazon FBA business and looking for our first product. What minimum monthly revenue and keywords count should we be looking for? So the minimum monthly revenue. So the key thing here, Matthew, is look for revenue that you can keep in stock. Okay. So whatever that is, like if you have 20 grand to your name, don't be going after products that require 20 grand for orders. You know, go at 10 grand, something like that. Leave some money for you, some powder in the keg, just in case you need it. And keyword count. This is a big misconception that I hear a lot of other people online say, and they say things like you have to have a lot of search volume for keywords in order to go after a product. Like if you go after a product and the search volume isn't that high, you're not going to do well. Let me tell you from experience, all right, from experience, not theory. If your product has a good BSR and it's selling, then whatever keywords are pointing at it, those are good targeted buyer. Like imagine you could have keywords that have a large search volume, but they're really wishy-washy buyers, or they look at a lot of different types of products. But you could also have products that have keywords with very small search volume, but they are very high intent buyers who will typically always buy when they see it, right? So don't get caught up with the whole keyword count thing and like search volume for that. If it has a good BSR and it's selling well and it's consistent, then you're going to be okay. And a minimum monthly revenue, I wouldn't even look at that. I would just say like, what's my budget and what falls into that, where I can leave some powder in the keg just in case I need it. Jared says, what country Amazon market do you think has the most untapped potential? I don't know. I don't know. I sell in all the EU countries, Canada, US, and one thing I will say is like the US has the most traffic, but I have products that I sell in the US and like let's say UK or Germany or other ones, and the other markets have a lot higher margin, even though they don't sell as much. So like so I wouldn't even think about it like this, Jared. Like Amazon is so huge, man. Amazon is like it's this Goliath, and there are like hundreds of thousands of products, and you literally need like three to change your life. Three to probably take up for most 9 to 5 jobs, maybe even two, right? So you don't have to look at like what's the biggest untapped potential. Like Amazon in general, it has a lot of untapped potential if you know what to look for. Okay, so look at it like that. Like, but it's a good question. I hear what you're saying. Um, let's see here, Mr. Waji. Man, I like that red hair. Your biggest revenue profit products sell 100K plus, correct? When you picked out those products, were they still singles, or do you have strategies for other going for bigger niches? So one thing I'll tell you though is like I do have some products that have matured over time and they sell more. Um, and I did have products that like being the fifth best seller, it was somewhat of more of a single you could call it. And then as I took over the niche, it came more of like a home run type product. But regardless, like if you're going after bigger niches, it's the same principles. You just got to have a lot more capital and be a lot more aggressive and realize like you got to come ready. Like, like you can't if you're going after a savage item, you can't be coming into the war with a slingshot. You got to have like a polished blade that you've been practicing with, because you know who's in those markets? People like me, okay, and multiple people like me. So if you're doing that, like don't come with a slingshot. It's not going to work. You're going to lose all your kids' college tuition. Let's hear crypto. Do you help with product selection and mentorship program? So so I'm going to go back to this. Like when you're trying to learn something, you need to find the best person at it. Like who is the best that you can find out there? And you got to model everything after them. I mean, everything. Like what do they, how do they make their pictures in their listing? How do they do their PPC? They shortcutted the whole process for you. You don't have to learn from random Joe over here who has 2 products. You don't have to learn from random Sam who has 7 products. You learn from the guy who's like ran past all those guys, right? And so that's me. That's me, okay? And in the training, what I do is have you look over my shoulder as I just go and I look for products and I vet them like real time with you. And that is the best way for you to learn, because what I've seen from the feedback from my students is their favorite videos are ones where they see me in action, like on Amazon myself, talking out loud about what I think and what I see. Okay, and that's you can join another training or something like that, and there'll be some guy who's like, yeah, I'll vet your product. Who is that guy? Like, who is that guy? Like when you see these trainings that say like, oh, we'll vet your product for you, like who is vetting my product, and how many successful products does he have, and what credibility does he have? Like I want you guys to ask these types of questions, right? Instead of just someone saying like, oh yeah, we'll vet your product, and you're like, I'm in. No, you gotta say like, we'll vet your product. Wait, who's vetting my product? Like, who is that guy? Like, he's a seller. Does he sell? Like, how do I know? Does he show that he sells? Like, how do I know? Right. So with mine, I'm not gonna go in every single product and be like, crypto channel, I bless this product. Launch this one, you will have success. No, but I will say, hey, here is how I look at things. Here is many times how I look at things, and do the same. And here are different spreadsheets and Excel things that you can write down the information the same way I'm doing so that you can have the highest likelihood of success. Hey, Tim, I found a great supplier. my product and their goods are good quality. However, they don't have the capabilities of custom packaging. Oh, I answered this one. Andrew, what's up? Hi, Tim. Just launched my product a month back. I'm looking to do 100 to 150 product giveaway for reviews. What's the best way to find people who are interested? Well, in your case, it sounds like if you're looking to find people interested, find your target demographic, right? And with that target demographic, there's probably some Facebook groups they hang out in. Go find those Facebook groups, talk to the admins, the moderators, be like, hey, you know what? I want to give your group this awesome product. I'll give them 50% off or whatever like that. I'll give you a little cut of it too. Sign up for an Amazon Associates account so you can have affiliate program. Put your link in it. You make some money too. And so there's one tip on how you can find a lot of people. Who's your target demographic? Who is the customer for this? Where or do they hang out with? Where do they hang out at? They hang out on Reddit. They hang out on Facebook groups. What Facebook groups? They hang out on Instagram, YouTube. Contact the people who are in charge of all those other people below them. See if you can work a deal, offer the product at a discount, give them a link so they can get some rank juice, and try to work a deal that makes it beneficial for the group owner too. Never probable. Tim, this is Davis PL. I'm a new member of a course of the course started 1 month ago. I will say any people are skeptical, just jump on it. Hey, right on, man. It helps when your last name is private label PL, man. This guy's the real deal. Hey, thank you. Full disclosure, but full disclosure for people who don't like the Warriors, he's a big fan. And who's my favorite Warrior? Most people wouldn't be able to guess my favorite Warrior. My favorite Warrior is Klay Thompson. Everyone's like Steph Curry, da da da. No, Klay, man. China Klay specifically. Rizop, my product's demand shot up and I'm going to be out of stock for a few months. Should I send inventory to a new listing and rank that way or keep my old one? Keep the old one. You'll be fine. H-Man, super cool, man. Think about you a lot lately. I'll be in touch. H-Man, right on. Ray and I started with 10K. Oh, this is Ray's partner right here, Greg. Right on. You know, this is funny. This all makes sense now, Greg and Ray, because when I looked into where we host the course, it said Ray, but then it had a picture of Greg. And I'm like, that's not the Ray I know. Makes sense now. I didn't want to say anything. With the pandemic situation still going on, how badly affected are suppliers manufacturers come from China, inventory issues, delays, customs? I'm seeing nothing of the sort. Zero. And none of my students either, or any of the high volume sellers I know of. There's no issues there. I have a product that I started running. Let's see here. Carl Jr. I have a product that I started running an auto PPC ad, and it's using up my budget within 3 hours. I tried adding to the budget, but midday it uses 300 in a budget. What could be the issue? So here's what I'm gonna tell you, Carl. Like, are you at a break even or profitable ACoS? If it is, just add budget to it. You're not losing any money and you're just going to get a lot of sales, which will equate to more reviews, which will equate to better ranking, which will equate to more money. Okay. But if you're running out of budget real quick and your ACoS is super high, then what I recommend for you to do is to lower your bids on that and then get it to like a break even or profitable ACoS. And if you're still running out of your budget, then increase your budget. Carl says, do you offer one-on-one coaching? I'm sorry, I don't. You know, like I let's say if I did one-on-one coaching, right? Let's say I could charge a whole bunch of money for that, which I probably could. I could probably only help a couple people at a time. I probably only have the bandwidth to help 6 people. So even though I could probably charge a lot for that, I'd rather help hundreds of people, thousands of people to be able to make a go of this. And then instead of like a one-on-one thing, when people ask their questions, I can post it for everybody to see, and many people learn all at once. It works out better, and more people can be impacted. Does the course give clear guidance with the shipping from overseas aspect of the business? Rogue Seller, great question. Yes, it does. It shows all about, shipping intercoms. So I would ask, like, if you're brand new here and you're like, oh, I can do it on my own, I would say, okay, do you have a annual customs bond, a single use custom bonds? What intercom are you using? FOB, XWorks, DDP? How are you shipping that? What's your duty rate? Are you getting that duty rate from your supplier? Are you doing LCL, FCL, LTL? What are you doing? What's the best cost? Are you using Amazon partnered carriers? Are you using local trucking? So there's a lot to the shipping aspect, but we have it broken down to like 6 or 7 videos, and you just follow that, and Smooth sailing. Easy peasy. I wish it was as simple as just, printing a label for UPS like we do here in the States or going to the post office, but it's more in depth than that. But I promise you, after you do it one time and you follow the simple steps, my training has really simple steps for that where I go over the shoulder, use this freight forwarder. Here's how you use the tool. Here's how you get a quote. Here's how you put the labels on. Here's what you need to tell your supplier. Here's what you should look for here. After you do that once, you have it. It's like riding a bike and it's like breathing. Leo and Ivana, hey Tim, I see changes since today's live stream. Nice haircut. Tim's the best coach, guys. Hey, yeah, so I did a live stream earlier in the day. I look like a new person, hopefully for the better. Um, what are some recommended software tools or bundles would you recommend? Example, Helium 10. They're all about the same. Helium 10, Viral Launch, Jungle Scout. You go with the three main guys like that, you'll be okay. Mark says, hi Tim, I'm glad I joined the live stream this time. Always the one in the afternoon because I'm on the job. I just placed my first sample. I'm excited to see how it looks. Congrats, man. Getting your first sample is one of the best feelings ever. It is one of the best feelings ever. What's the success rate in this business since it's getting competitive every day? I would say like overall success rate for Amazon is pretty low. But I would say overall success rate for one of my students is pretty high. Like I would almost put money on it. Like people who watch my entire training, like every video end to end, there's like a 99% chance of success. I went through and looked at everyone who's watched the entire thing, and all the ones who have watched the entire thing are all decently successful sellers. But like I'd say for hacking it on your own, you probably like if you're just going off a YouTube channel videos, like stuff like that, you probably have a 1.5% chance of success, maybe a 2%, something like that. Let's see here. 2 lives in 1 day winning, Timmy the man. Anything for you guys. 7, nice haircut, Tim. Glad to catch second live of the day. Nice to see you here. I want to try your program, but I keep backing out. That fear, man, that'll keep you stuck. Fear will keep you stuck. You don't want to be stuck, man. Time is of the essence. Tim, took your advice from the stream today and asked the supplier could change the design, and the design change seems simple, just an increased size. They quoted me 3,800 USD for new product model. Is this normal? It depends on the product, but what I would do is talk to other suppliers that have a similar type product and see what they can do, and then you can get a rough idea. And then sometimes what you might do is see if they'll split the mold price, and then instead of taking the price all up front, have them just add a percentage onto the product amount and then pay it off over time. Dr. Shaw, how much profit does your course make? Saw you on Hyros recently. Hey, so I will tell you, I make a lot more money on Amazon than I do on my course. However, the course does help feed Amazon products and I get to help other people, so it's a win-win-win-win. And if you join Dr. Shaw, it'll be a win for you too. What's your method when dealing with the language barrier when doing negotiations? So, this is funny. This is interesting. I've met a lot of people who like have a hard time talking with people in China who have kind of broken English. And a lot of times it's people who have like really extensive vocabularies because in China, like a lot of the people who you'll talk to, like on Alibaba, they're recent university graduates who know some English, but it's not that great. Okay, so when you're using like really big, extensive, fancy words, they won't understand you. So you just got to really, dumb down the speech, like talk in simple words, like talk as if you're going to talk to like a young person, right? And so I found negotiations to be work just fine. You just got to know what kind of vocabulary to work with and realize like that your who is your audience? You're not talking to a scholar, you're talking to a person from another country who barely speaks your language. So you have to talk an appropriate vocabulary to them. Okay, and if you do that, you'll be just fine. Do you use 1688 for product sourcing or only Alibaba? Only Alibaba, but I'll use 1688 to get some price quotes. How to manage quantities for Q4? I actually have an entire module in my training about this. But basically, you got a lot helps is like going off of last year's numbers from those who are the competitors in the market. Can accounts be suspended for using Feedback Whiz for reviews? So it's not really Feedback Whiz that will get you suspended. It's what you choose to put in your emails that you use Feedback Whiz for. But if you go with a simple template, you should be all right. I'm really interested in your course. Would you guide us on how to sell in other countries, like step by step, having problems? So I'll help you to some degree. I don't go into every single market like, oh, here's how you list on UK, here's how you list on Germany. Like listing a product, I'll teach you how to do it like on US, which will be the same as Canada, all these other places. It's an intuitive process. After you do it on one marketplace, you can do it on all the other ones. All right, so it's really simple. Malik, launching a new non-clothing type product that comes in 4 colors. Do you recommend using variations or creating multiple listings and taking up some search results? Ooh, I have a video in my training that's called Everything Variations. And it's a 1 hour brain dump of every single thing I've tried with variations on one, all on their own, combining them, detaching them, all these different things. So it all depends. It all depends. There's so many different variables. Um, but probably in your case, I would start off by putting them all in one and then seeing which ones do well. And if ones do well, maybe branch those off. You see a product with high demand that you want to sell, what is your favorite way of differentiating? Making a bundle, creating a unique product, better branding? All right, I'm gonna take the easy way out. All of the above. All of the above. I'll do as much as I can. Um, have you or any acquaintances been imposed stock limitation due to low IPA score? If so, how can you handle the situation be appealed? Yeah, I actually have had that before, but I haven't need to appeal it. I just take any products that have like overstock and I'll just blaze out of them and that'll help my IPI score, which will relieve that and give some inventory opening. What's the estimate cost of creating content, pictures, videos, using your vendors for some who is just starting? Um, so one thing to remember, crypto and everyone else watching, like all your fees and your charges aren't going to come all at once. It's going to be spread out over like a 3 month period, 2.5 months. You know, pay a deposit 30%. 30-day goes by, then you have a 70%. Then you have some pictures, then you have some copywriting, right? And then maybe if you get brand registry, you can have a video. I don't know. I would budget over $1,000 for content, pictures, and video for myself if you want to have the best product on the market. At this point in your business, assume you focus on product selection and hire out most of the rest. Do you use a dedicated sourcing company to hand off product ideas, RFQ? No, I don't. I still do the product research and then I will do the vetting of suppliers. Then once we get a product in production and we've built that rapport and that relationship, then I'll hand it off for all reorders to my guy. Do you generally only pick products with very high demand to sell? No, I have products that sell 1 to 3 a day and then some products that sell 100 to 150 a day. When ordering a sample, do you order your finished product or the sample from Alibaba? It depends. You know, if it's really customized, I'll probably want to finish one. But if it's something that's slightly different, I'll just check the quality of the one sample. And then as long as you get an inspection and you put in your PI, like the specifics of the quality of the item, then you'll be covered. Hey, Tim, I just want to know what hurdles comes during the whole process to prepare for. There's going to be, you can't account for all the hurdles. But you can go into all the hurdles with the right mindset. And that's like, I'm going to be a veteran warrior of a seller, and eventually there won't be too many new things that come my way. And if you have the right support behind you, you'll be okay. So, most hurdles are just like not knowing how to use Seller Central, not knowing how to do my first shipment, things like that. And then otherwise, like, you may get a hijacker from here and there, but if you have the right like coaching and the right support around you, those hurdles just become little questions you ask on a live stream like this. Hi, Tim, do you need to speak English very well? I'm worried that my English isn't good. Is enough to source PPC? Brian, your English is perfectly good enough, man. I just read that sentence and you do not have anything to worry about, okay? Nothing. How do you solve the cash flow issue of needing gobs of cash to scale? So there's one thing, like if you're just trying to like replace your 9 to 5, you don't have to worry about this. If you're trying to build like the next Roman Empire of a business, you do. And so what you'll have to do is have access to either lines of credit, credit card, or have a separate job that brings cash flow into your business. Does it really take 90 days? Do you take payment plan for your course? This is a good question. Click the link if you want to learn from me. Go through the steps, and we've got to see if you're a good fit before we can talk about anything like a payment plan. Is your training based on videos, or are there like coaching calls as well? Great question. So I'm constantly updating the training based on new things I'm trying. And we have so many modules in there now. So it's mainly a video-based training, but there is tons of live streams. We do a live stream every single week where I go. Like today, I already did one for like an hour and a half, and now I'm doing another one on here. There is options for if you would like a coaching call, but most students don't really have that. And there is a crazy amount of support. Like the coaches and the moderators in my group are almost all homegrown, like they learned from me, and some are doing $300,000 to $500,000 a month. And if you were to look in my student group, not one post goes by without 2 to 3 coaches or moderators commenting on them. That's huge. That's huge. You literally can ask a question within 2 hours, it's answered by someone who's credible. And if someone puts on some phony answer, we delete it. Like the group is filled with only credible information. Now take that. Now think about that. If my training has been around for over a year and a half, right, almost 2 years, think of how many questions have been asked, how many answers have been given by qualified people. It's now a gigantic searchable database for almost every question as a new person you could ever have. What's your current refund policy for the training? We do right now, it could change, but a 7-day, no questions asked refund. So you don't have anything to lose to get in there. I promise you, once you get in there and you can get on these live streams every single week and ask every question you ever had, plus search the database, which is the Facebook group, and you see all the people and the success they're having in there, you're gonna be like, why would I go anywhere else? Do you guys work with suppliers that can make a unique product like you? Like create unique product molds for your product? Of course, yes. All right, I'm gonna start wrapping this up. Looks like we got about 100 people on here. Been on here about an hour. I don't come on here too often, so I'm glad that for those of you who got questions in, that I'll be able to take advantage of this. Remember, I do this every single week, every single Tuesday, in the training. Not only that, but I have every single one I've ever done recorded. That's like, I don't even know how many that is, and almost all of them are searchable. So just think of that, like just getting access to that. All right, Abdul. Advice, please. I have a listing selling 100 units a day. I'm thinking about adding a variation in the same category. Should I go for it as new listing or add to existing variation? I would look to see what the competitors. If the competitors are selling a ton, do it a new listing. If it's like a so-so and you're not really sure, add as a variation so you can test it. Hey Tim, David from West Australia. How's it going? Wouldn't using Jungle Scout, Helium 10, etc. give the same result to thousands of sellers? Um, So it depends on how you're using it. Like I mainly use those tools just to look at the numbers to see what things are selling at. There's another level of intuitiveness that I talk about in my training that you can't just use Helium 10 to figure it out. Like I tell you what to look for when it comes to a product. And it's not just like, oh, what came up in search here? It's not like that. It's another level of being able to like bring together a product that's more unique to the market. Mark says, with the money you make, you are financially free. What are your future goals? Any other investments, decisions in Amazon? I used to do some investing in like real estate, especially like hard money loans, but I sold most of those positions in order to keep dumping into my Amazon business. So I'm actually right now I don't have any crazy like, buy a 100-plex and like some crazy like real estate development, something like that. Mine's more like do what I'm doing tenfold and see where it lands, and train who I'm training right now tenfold and see where they land. And just every in all my entrepreneurial endeavors, I never really had to search really hard for the next thing. It just kind of showed up, right? So I don't like just go hopping around to things. I try to master something and then stretch it and push it as far as it can go. And I haven't hit that level yet here. And if you look at Amazon, like ROI compared to most investments, it's through the roof. So for the time being, I'm going to keep scaling what I'm doing here. I have certain goals, like I would like to do $20 million in sales per calendar year on Amazon. I'd like to take a couple of my brands off Amazon and kill it, which is a whole nother experience. I'd like to be able to take a lot of my brands that I'm killing on Amazon and take them all over to every Amazon in the world, like not just US, UK, but who knows, maybe Japan, maybe UAE, maybe India. There's a lot of different options. And so, future goals is to do what I'm doing right now tenfold, and then help other people follow in my footsteps, because I'm like, in a lot of these different cases, I'm like paving my own way because I can't really find people that are higher. And then I can help the people who have invested in me, like my students. It's interesting. If you've ever helped somebody, you almost get as much joy seeing their success as your own. So I've noticed that for myself, like it used to all about like what's my success, whereas now I'm getting a lot of joy seeing other people's success. Like when somebody tells you like, Tim, you changed my life. Now I'm able to live, now I'm able to spend time with my kids and do all these things I never thought I would be able to dream of. That's a pretty cool feeling. Like there isn't really a monetary value on that. And so when you talk about future goals when it comes to finances, that's not really one of them, but it is a nice thing that I've been able to like have a part in and I'd like to do more of. You always talk about 3D rendering for images. I haven't done it yet. Can you please shed some light on topic about cost, things to take care of? Yeah, some products, they just look cleaner with 3D renders. I don't have too many like that, but it's usually not too much more than just regular images. Just make sure you have a really crispy guy doing it. How long does it take to launch one product versus first starting out versus when you're a pro? I think it might take a little bit longer as a newbie because you're a little scared, whereas if you're a pro, you just kind of go in knowing exactly what to do. So not too much longer, a week, 2 weeks maybe. What do you look for in your students when conducting interviews? So I like to find people who are motivated, right? I like the training is good. It works, okay? We have tons of success with people. Like I said, the one guy that I just saw in our group today, he started in like 2018. Then he quit his job in the beginning of 2020, and then now he's already hit $1 million this year. But there's many people like him. But what makes them different is like they have a drive to them and a focus, right? I like people who take the training who are like really ready to change their lives and who are really teachable, right? So if you got people who have some money, and if you don't have money, a way to earn some money, right? But they're highly driven and focused, and they're very teachable, then I don't care what the thing is, they're going to find success in it. And I love having those kind of students, right? And ones that are willing to help each other. That's why I want to have people who aren't just like all to themselves. And I really encourage in my community to help others. And I don't care if you don't have the answers to questions, but if you see somebody and you can provide some encouragement, do that, right? That's the kind of community. And those are the type of people I want. Those are the type, like when I look at my student group and I see others like helping other people, it makes me really want to invest in those type of people. So when we conduct student interviews on the phone, that's who we're looking for. What is your motivation? Why do you want to do this? Is it just to make a whole bunch of money or something bigger? What kind of level of drive and determination do you have as a person, as a future entrepreneur? Like if I was going to bet money on you as a racehorse, would my bet be sound? Like that's what we're looking for. And if that's you, then we're looking for you. Like come get on a call with us and let's help make your dreams a reality. How many SKUs do you have personally? Over 120 now. What country are you in right now? I'm in the United States. I live in California. Can you check your email, please? I'm ready to join your team. I'll check it here in a little bit. But what I suggest for you, unknown Muslims, that's an interesting name. Click the link below in the description. Watch the video. I have a video there that it really shows the difference between just dabbling in Amazon versus learning from a master and building something amazing. Okay. You're going to come up against people when you're competing on the largest marketplace of the world, that being Amazon. And you need to be like a lethally optimized seller to really make a go of this. And I talk a lot about that. So click that link in the description. Watch that video. It's only 30 minutes long. And you can see my journey, where it's led me, and then some of the things I've learned on there, which make this training different than any other Amazon training out there. How many Amazon businesses and products I have right now? What do you recommend Shopify dropshipping to? I have 2 Amazon Seller Central accounts, and I have about 6 brands. One brand's on one, 5 on the other. And I have about over 120 products right now. Would I recommend Shopify dropshipping to? I wouldn't. I don't really like the Shopify dropshipping model. It seems a little short-sighted. There are people who have success at it. Whatever you choose, just choose one and go full steam at it. It's really hard to get mastery level at multiple things. Like you're not gonna typically you don't find the guy who's like the like symphony concert level grandmaster pianist who's also hit grand mastery in the saxophone. Like they're usually one thing and they just kill it at it. So if you're looking at Amazon business or Shopify, like whatever you choose, I'm gonna obviously have a bias towards Amazon because I think that's more long term, right? I don't like the whole like overload drop shipping that takes 3 weeks, something from China, onesie twosie, e-packet method. I don't really like that. I don't like people having to wait 3 weeks for products. But whatever you do, find the very best and learn from them. Who's the best? If you want to learn investing, learn from Warren Buffett, man. If you want to learn like product development, go try to figure out some Steve Jobs stuff. Like that guy was busting out the iPod and all these different things that changed the market. If you want to look at just like fascinating people, go study Elon Musk, right? That guy's doing things no one else does. But if you're trying to start a business of any type, find who the best is and learn from that. How do you overcome the looming threat of being suspended? So there's a lot of people who have very PL baby. We want to own our brand. We want to be control of the supply chain. We want the highest profit margins. We want to be able to take our brand and put it in different retail stores. Only can be possible with private label. Let's see here. All right, I'm gonna answer this one last question. What does it mean when you say 6 brands, 120 products? Just curious. Is that like one brand has 20 products? Yeah, pretty much, pretty much. So like, let's say Nike's a brand, Reebok, Adidas, and then throughout all the different brands, I have X amount of products within it. I like that. I like that name, Looney Vines. So anyways, you guys, thank you for coming here today. There's about 100 people on. I've been here about an hour. I try to come live on YouTube once every month, month and a half, 2 months. If you want access to me and live streams like this, join our training. There's a link down below. Watch the 30-minute video in total. Even if you don't even join our training, no problem. If you watch that 30-minute video, I'll give you a couple tips on like picking products and working with suppliers and different things like that that will have a huge impact on your Amazon business. So just check out that link, watch that 30-minute video, and you're going to learn a lot. Anyways, you guys, let me show you the sales before I go, right? The sales before I go. We are at today, refresh. Let's see here. So today's sales are $17,200 profit. Forget gross sales, right? We're looking at profit. You know, I'll show you gross sales too. Here, I'll show you. $1.8 million in the last 30 days, right? We're at $60,000 today in sales, and that's where we're at. You want to learn from the best. Model everything they do. Have a crazy successful Amazon business. You want to learn from myself? You want to be in the best support group with not one bad answer to people's questions because they're all deleted? Click the link below. Anyways, you guys take care, stay safe, make good decisions, and be kind to your neighbor, all right? See you guys later.